Hello, everyone. I'm Dam Chicker.
This is a Japanese-made air humidifier that runs on 100 volts. But here in Vietnam, we use 220 volts. Sounds impossible to make it work, right? Well, I'm going to power it up just using the capacitors. No bulky transformers, no complicated circuits. Don't believe it? Watch what I'm about to do. It might just blow your mind. And don't forget to subscribe if you find this interesting, because I've got a lot more electrical hacks coming your way. All right, now let's crack this humidifier open and see what's inside. Japanese domestic products are known for their precision, no doubt about that. But are they easy to modify? What does the circuit look like? What kind of motor is inside? And most importantly, how exactly am I going to wire and adjust the capacitors to make it run on to 120 volts? Stick around and let's explore it from the inside out. You might just pick up a few tricks to try at home. Almost there. Just a few more screws and we'll get a full look at the guts of this humidifier. Don't blink. The best part is coming up. Want to see what makes Japanese machines different inside and how I'm going to rig those capacitors for smooth to 120 volts operation. Keep watching. We're about to get to the good stuff. I know some of you are getting impatient, just waiting to see how I convert the power. But hold on. Don't skip ahead just yet. I want you to really understand this humidifier first. At a glance, it might look simple, but the internal design, from component layout to motor structure, plays a huge role in how I pull off the 100 volts to 220 volts conversion. Trust me, if you skip this part, you'll miss why just two capacitors can replace a bulky transformer. Pay attention, you're in for a surprise. All right, now it's time for the main part, the power conversion. To step down from 220 volts to 100 volts without using a transformer, I've got just a few simple components, 3 pieces of wire to 10 microfarad for 100 volts DC capacitors, and to 330 k ohm resistors for safe discharge. Sounds simple, right? But these small components are the key to making this Japanese humidifier run smoothly on Vietnamese voltage. Stick around. Let me show you exactly what I'm going to do with them.
Let's go.
If you've made it this far and haven't subscribed yet, you're missing out. One click and you won't miss any of the awesome stuff coming next. Hit subscribe now. I've got way more cool content on the way.
Okay.
I'm going to solder the connections to ensure solid contact. No loose wires during operation. Then, I'll cover each joint with heat shrink tubing for proper insulation and a cleaner, more professional look. Don't underestimate these small steps. Sloppy wiring isn't just messy, it can be dangerous or even cause a fire over time. Now, let's go step by step and see how it's done. Now, I'm going to drill a small hole in the case, just enough to feed the capacitor module inside, keeping everything neat and tucked away. Do it carefully and cleanly, and the machine will still look original while running exactly how we want. If the video feels a bit long, don't worry. I'm walking through the steps in detail so that even beginners can follow along. Sit back, relax, and keep watching. This part may seem simple, but it's super important. I cut the black power wire, connect the red wire from the capacitor to the board's power input. One blue wire goes to the black live to 120 volts. The other blue connects with the white neutral to 120 volts. This setup drops the voltage from 220 volts to 100 volts so the machine runs safely. Do it carefully for safety. I've finished wiring the capacitor setup. Let's check with the multimeter. Input is 220 volts. And look at this. Output is 11 for V. That's perfect for running the humidifier. Not too high, not too low. Just the right voltage for safe and stable operation. Don't you think? reassemble the machine. Everything is secure, the capacitors are insulated properly, and the wiring is nice and clean. From the outside, you'd never guess it's been modded, right? And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Let's plug it into 220 volts and see if it runs. Will it power up smoothly? Stick around. The most exciting part is coming up. All right, the moment of truth. After all the soldering, measuring, and assembling, everything comes down to this. Will it work? Will the capacitors do their job? Or will we get that infamous burnt smell and a pop? I'll be honest, even though this isn't my first time, I still get nervous every single test. Plugging 220 volts into a device made for 100 volts isn't exactly playing it safe, right? But that's exactly what makes this exciting. The thrill of seeing if all the calculations, wiring, and insulation actually pay off. No more talking. Time to plug it in. If you've ever tinkered with electronics, you'll know this feeling. Heart racing and slightly shaking, eyes locked on the switch. The moment I flip it, we'll know. Will there be the hum of the motor? Lights turning on, or just a spark? Let's find out together. If you found this video helpful or just
Like
plain
and
cool,
subscribe.
don't forget to subscribe,
Down-Chicker.
hit that like button,
Thank you.
and share it with your friends. Plenty more fun and practical DIY tricks are coming your way.